All right, I believe we are live on two platforms at the same time. How about that? Collect our herpaderps, play some video games. Hello, John. All right, what have I got? Sabertooth, Elite, Rhino, and Farseer. I've never been able to do anything productive with the Elite Specialist. Farseer's probably the best. Like, question. They took Marksman? Alright. I need to back these dudes up a little more. Sim Sister, what are you doing here? Good to see you. Not expected, but good to see you. We ought to be okay here. Nope, we're dead. That's okay, it's just the first round. There's a lot more damage than I expect. I should have unlocked something there too. I don't want any of that. They've already purchased field recovery. What have they bought for these? Assault module. They're getting tanky bros. I don't even know what to buy here. I guess balls would be good. Let's give that a go. They're just making nothing but marksmen. Right. These tanks are so slow, they're not even doing anything. I need something to counter this marksman rush, or I'm just gonna die. Put laser sights on my Farseer. This thing is another 16 meters per second, so it's going to go at the same speed as everything but the tanks, which are just showing up a bit too late. I don't need missile interceptor. I need something that can take out these marksmen, but I'm just not sure what it should be. Storm callers might be the answer. Let's see if this does anything. I'm kind of scared they're just going to keep buying marksmen and I won't be able to do anything about it. What they're doing shouldn't be working. That's gross. Trying to see if there's any bonuses I want to put on these dudes. I don't think there is, which means I don't have a lot to do here. There we go. This is like an auto battler. Let me take my turn and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'm incredibly weak to air forces right now. What can I do with an extra 200 bucks? I shouldn't need Missile Interceptor. Yeah, I think maybe we save it. I've already done an unlock here. So this is basically an auto battler based on the concept of RTS games. So this is what if we made StarCraft an auto battler instead of what if we made Magic an auto battler or Hearthstone an auto battler, which is kind of what some of the other ones have been based on. My opponent is spamming one unit, and it took me a minute to counter it, but I think we're going to be able to. There we go. Which is very different than what I usually play, but I don't know. I tried this one when it was in alpha, and it was fun. But it didn't have a really good MMR system. Now it does. So I was like, let's play some, see what it's got going on for it. We're going to need to do some upgrades here too. I think it's actually laser sights that I want here. Because I believe I would like a fortress. Or two. Don't have enough for barrier. We'll get that next turn and do some of our upgrades now. That ought to work. They're going to drop crawlers on my butt. My fodder didn't get in place in time, so that may have been enough to win them this round. That's pretty unfortunate. I think I might like some fangs in the front line. Hey, what's up, Lynn? How have you been?
Greetings all. Senhai Mech is firing.
Got a melting point in the back. Good lord. What else can I buy that's going to be somewhat useful here? Range enhancement seems alright. They mostly got me because of their flank move there, so I don't want to overreact too much. I need something to take out that melting point. And I don't think I have time to get it. Melting point of my own to counter it. I thought it was the fortress that was ready for the promotion. Sadly, was not. Hey, what's up? I'm getting kind of destroyed by some sort of meme stuff. And can't quite figure out how to fix it. Like, this player is just not running really any cannon fodder and destroying me with marksman. It's pronounced Mei. Okay, I'm getting destroyed by Mei. I think they're still going to get me and the game's over. Yeah, I don't think it looks like we're winning now. I need something to take out that freaking ball. I need to disable tech. Take out a loan that I ain't gonna need to pay back. I don't know that I can do a whole lot more than this. That might be my best option. Which I think is a pretty good option. It could be. I hope it is the greatest comeback of the year. I moved to Farseer and lost the other side. Sadly, this is not the greatest comeback. This is me really still needing how to learn to counter single unit strategies. Everything I've read says if somebody's not playing cannon fodder, you're just going to win. But that has not been the case. So I got to work harder for this. Yeah, I was not prepared for how big and a butt whooping I was about to get there. That's okay. That's how we learn. Win or learn. But Richard had said earlier, is this an auto paddler? It's basically StarCraft for 40-year-olds. I think is how I would describe this. That's a long fight. 20-minute round. Oh, we can play marksman. Get one over on our opponent. I think I'm going to go for... Whoa, there's a cost control. No, I don't like cost control. That's not the one I like. Yeah, we're going to take the Sabertooth. Opponent is on Giant Specialist, and they're starting with Mustangs and Crawlers. The Tarantulas are actually quite good here. Getting these in exactly the right position is still kind of tough for me. No idea what they're going to buy. I don't like the cost control. Maybe I could do better. They went with arc lights too? Okay. What's up, Christmas? Merry Halloween. Get wrecked. Can I get my Sabertooth this turn? This is great. Free Scorpion seems fine. What are they going to take? I don't want to take the Wasp. They've already got Mustangs. They might take that. They might also take the Stormcallers. I think I like the Scorpion because it's adjustable. But I'm also a little worried about an Air Force from them this turn, so I want to get some Mustangs. What's up, Fubi? Hello, Darmist. The downside with me buying the Mustangs is that I can only buy one unit this turn. Which I don't love. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow $1 to get a pair of Mustangs, and we'll just suck it up next turn. Because I think there's a decent chance they would take the Wasp. They didn't. I don't know what the heck they did. They apparently took the Scorpion and got another one. Sounds good to me. This is kind of a card game in a way, and it's kind of a draft game in a way. These choices that are happening each round, your opponent has the exact same choice, which I think is pretty neat. So I'm going to take bombardment. They're probably going to take bombardment too. This round we're a little lower on resources. So I think we just buy some fangs. Not fangs, crawlers. And move along with our life. I don't really think I want to buy a shield. If they want to get me with this turn, they can get me. They bought a Vulcan. That's interesting, but counterable. In fact, I think it may already be countered by my Saber-tooth. Yeah, I don't really have to worry about the Vulcan. I probably should still invest in a melting point. I can hang on. I want to get my upgrades this turn. Give him a little heart attack too. They're going for symmetry. We'll counter the Vulcans next turn. He might win this round too, frankly. Just because of my little flank. Boop. Boop. That wasn't a big round, but it was big enough. I don't need any of this. I just need a melting point. And I barely even need that, let's be real. They're sending in wasps. Well, that sucks. I shouldn't have shown them how to flank. I don't think it wins it for them. It might. I can put anti-air on these. Yeah. The melting point may still kill all of these wasps. I did. And that's satisfying. Barely have to do anything. These typhoons mean I just don't. I don't even have to worry about it. do want to do some upgrades. I'm not terribly pressed about much else. I'm sort of interested in getting that on the Scorpion, but I don't really have enough of them that I think it's worth it. So what should we be running out this turn? I feel like Fangs with shield tech could be useful. To get us a little extra time off of these Vulcans. Let's see if that's crazy. Reloading in fortresses against my steel balls. Alright. I think that's super smart. You should do that. They're annihilating my cannon fodder. But not until after it's done its job. Also streaming on YouTube. I wanted to try that today. That was a nice win. I needed that. All right, I think we should have time for one more. I like Fortified Specialist. I also really like the Typhoon Specialist. Fire Badgers are pretty cool too. I'm gonna go with the Typhoon. You don't have to worry about air assaults, which is just nice. We've got sledgehammers and marksmans. These are 16, those are 8. And these are slower, so they should be a little ahead. Getting all of this positioned properly is just incredibly difficult. Let's see if I'm starting to get the hang of it. That's a missile round 1. Most people don't do that. Like, it's just a lot of resources for a temporary advantage. Worked for him. So I need to get something going that's good at melting through this crap. still feel like steel balls seem, in theory, good for that. Just in practice aren't. Fast are these? 16? Try a little gambit over here. You're doing linked HP on these dudes and still missling. This is where I feel like I constantly get people just spamming one unit and I can't beat it. So I feel like I should be able to counter sledgehammers. But I don't think I actually can. I was thinking Stormcallers might be my out. So let's extend their range and blast the snot out of these guys. I want to buff the attack of these Stormcallers. If they're my answer, I probably do. Let's do it. All right, my flank wins me the round. At least I think it does. It should. Good grief, that was terrifying. I feel like the Sabertooth would be pretty good against these other tanks. Just starting to really knock them out. I'm a little worried about my opponent deciding to go all in on an Air Force. I also, before I go too much deeper on these Stormcallers, want to see if they pick up anti-missile technology. So honestly, I'm just going to buy all of the Saberteeth. And send them right on through. I could take a loan and get range enhancement on all of them. I don't want to do that. I would have bought one less and done that properly if I'd thought about it, but I didn't. I'm going to save a couple bucks so we don't get something we can't counter next turn. Man, they've really over-responded to that flank. That's really good news. And they did buy missile interceptors. So I'm glad I didn't invest really anything more into the storm callers. Especially if they're buying cheapy interceptors. So we may have just pulled ahead. Portable shield would be nice on a giant unit, so would the repair kit. I do want to promote my tanks when possible. I'm not too concerned about promoting the arc lights, but I'm glad they're getting the job done. They're going with such a heavy anti-air force here. I don't really want to produce the Overlord. But I could see a fortress being all right if we want to go for a giant unit. I just don't think this is really the turn we're going to do that. All right, let's be prepared for an air force from them. Which I can do here pretty easily. I'll buy a couple marksmen too. I think they're generally good all-around units. We can do our promotions. We can do an attack upgrade. I don't think I want to put a nano repair kit on anything yet. I kind of want to save it and put it on a fortress. But we'll see. They went for the firebomb, which isn't terribly surprising. I could have put shields on both sides, but I think I'm ahead enough it doesn't super matter. We could use a little more fodder on both sides. Like, they got their win, but they paid for it. Do we want to do the fortress now? Laser sights is nice. I do want my fortress now. I want to put barrier on it too, but then I don't have any money left to do anything else. And I need more fodder or something over here. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I need. Let's do mass recruitment. Drop us out a couple more crawlers here. I'm gonna need something to take out this Mustang horde. More Stormcallers damn near did it. Fire Badgers could help too. I mean, honestly, so could the fangs. This leaves me not really able to do upgrades, but it means I've got infinity cannon fodder, which I think is sufficient. I guess we're about to find out. Yeah, the Mustangs are still a problem. I think I'm going to die to them. I got one turn to figure out what to do about it. I mean, that kind of helps for one turn. What can really just clean up lightly armored stuff? The storm callers might be the way. Did I take out a loan already? And how much? That's 200 to promote. Can rapid resupply and promote it. Because the game's over if I don't survive this round, so... Hey, what's up, Hunter? Well, it's good to see you, Steven. And I'm very sorry we can't poop in YouTube, John. My plan of Stormcallers worked. It worked enough to get me the win. They countered him the first round I played him and then stopped. Just completely ignored him. It was like, maybe if I fart out a couple more squads here, we can actually do this. And we did. Okay, so we can poop in YouTube. Good to know. All right, I think to make sure I stay sane... Ooh, look, I'm silver! Okay, that's definitely a good place to stop. But I think to make sure that I stay sane and I'm happy when Sim Baby wakes up, I'm going to call it here. People have been asking me, like, what's the game? What's the deal? I'll just briefly sum it up again for me. They could, but they didn't. That's why I didn't want to invest in more Stormcallers, but they just ignored them, and then it worked. But this is basically making an auto battler out of RTS games. The big differences between this and some of the auto battlers that you've seen me play before is placement is permanent in this game. Once you place your units for the turn, you can't move them. So counterplay is kind of a bigger deal in this game. And other than the first initial choice that you make of which specialist you want to pick, every other choice you make, your opponent is offered the same decision points. So when you see 4 cards with 4 abilities, you've got to think which one's best for me, which one's best for my opponent, and which one's best for me to counter which one's best for my opponent. So the mind games go a little bit deeper, and I like that. I do feel like it's mostly, hey, what if we tried to make RTS games accessible to people with poor reflexes? Which is cool. Oh, I see your point now, Darren. It's like if they switched to missile intercept, then all of a sudden they don't have any damage. So fair point. We had them either way. But for me, that's going to do it. I will catch y'all next time. I was streaming live on YouTube as well, which means if you missed this or you want to catch it later, you can just go to YouTube and watch it there. All right, y'all be cool. I'll see you next time. Bye.